quick thought from the man with me here in the commentary position, who's been licking his lips in anticipation of this one, Roshan Rai. Can't wait for this one, Roshan.
An absolute privilege to be here to cover this game, and I'm really looking forward to this. A massive game. Both these sides know exactly what's at stake here. For Malaysia, it's simple, isn't it? They have to win. For Indonesia, they can take fewer risks. They can see how it goes. They can play on the counter-attack a little bit. And we saw against Vietnam, they know how to keep a clean sheet. They know how to be disciplined. They know how to be aggressive. They know how to fight this Indonesian side. And it's such an exciting young team with a big, bright future ahead of them. But this is a massive test. This is where they can take that next step in terms of the development, seeing out the result, getting the result that takes them through into the AFF Suzuki Cup semi-final. What an exciting 90 minutes plus of football we're going to have here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this is in stark contrast to the match we had yesterday, where Singapore and Thailand were already through to the semi-final, so a little bit less in it. And there were some issues as well for Thailand. And when we look at the team selection here today, both these teams certainly mean business. It may only be 20% full here at the stadium, but listen to that noise. These are some of the most fanatical supporters you will find in the region. And let's look at the starting lineup for Malaysia. They make 4 changes to the side that were convincingly beaten by Vietnam. The one to look out for, the number 2 there, Dion Cools, flew in from Europe just 4 days ago. He goes straight into the lineup. Junior Elstal is also restored to the starting lineup. Kogliswaran Raj is also in, as is Faisal Halim, who had that COVID-19 problem at the start of this campaign. It is a new centre-back pairing, remember, because Aidil Zafwan had a hamstring problem. He hobbled off in the game. So did Shaul Saad. He's on the bench. So Mahagiri has to settle for a place on the bench, as does Lukman Hakim. And on the bench, well, this is the biggest bench we've seen actually for Malaysia so far in this tournament. Because of COVID-19 and players not being available at the time, they finally have a full complement. The referee today from Bahrain, as is his first assistant, Amar Ibrahim Hassan. And there are the two skippers. Badro Bakhtiar taking the armband today from Aidil. For Indonesia, they make just the one change to the side that had that valiant point against Vietnam, the goalless draw in that one. And in comes Ramai Rumakek, the youngster, drafted in for this absolutely massive game. And clearly it would appear that Shin Tae-yong is fairly happy with what he's seen. He's gone for a pretty attacking formation here, a 4-4-2. And the man who misses out is Rizky Ramadani. But they are going with a 4-4-2 today. Irianto, who normally sits in front of the back four, is moving into the middle of the park today with Ricky Kambuaya. And yes, there you go, Rizky Ridho Ramadani, who was actually one of the most impressive players in that match against Vietnam. He has to settle for a place on the bench. There's also there on the bench Elkan Baggett, who was in quarantine, wasn't he, until yesterday for a COVID-19 incident on his plane, but he would be available later on in this competition. There is still no sign of Egy Maulana, who there were varying reports about whether he would be available for this one. Some mind games playing by Shin Tae-yong earlier in the picture. Tan Cheng Ho said, let's not get the media into our heads. Let's focus on the game instead. How do you see this one playing out, Roshan? Because Malaysia have to go for it from the off.
Yeah, they do. They certainly do. This Malaysian side, they have to go for it, but at the same time, it's not going to be a situation where you want to take too many risks too early on and open yourselves up to opportunities to lose out on the counter-attack and give Indonesia those opportunities in those counter-attacking situations, because there's plenty of pace in this side. You look at Irfan Jaya and Ramai Rumakek in those wider positions. They have got pace to burn. Witan Sulaiman just playing in just behind Ezra Walian.
You know what, Shin Tae-yong addressed that, didn't he, as that force of Koguswan Raj. Oh, he's got the shot in! What a goal that is! Koguswan Raj has opened the scoring for Malaysia out of the blue.
That's a superb finish from Kogileswaran. What a start for Malaysia here. A quick throw and an intelligent run in behind from Shafiq Ahmad that really starts it off. It's a poor clearance, you could say. And perhaps if you want to be hypercritical here, you can say it is slow to close down that shot from range, Rahmat Irianto. But that is pure quality. Wonderful camera angle on that replay. Kogileswaran, take a bow. What a finish.
Well, he had a superb celebration for his first ever international goal just a few days ago, and look at that one. The second of this tournament. And it's got the Malaysian fans really celebrating in the stands. And it stays down. Still alive here. And there's another dangerous moment there. Well over in the end.
His throw-ins are phenomenal.
He only used it a couple times in the last few matches. And it just creates problems, doesn't it?
Yeah, it could turn away from Kogileswaran here. Pratama. It's good energy, really good energy in Indonesia's play early on. Yeah, Safawi driving past Alfiandra, and again, look. Is that one of the ball boys actually appealing for a Malaysian penalty?
Squared it! Brilliant! Indonesia right back in there! Through Irfan!
Oh, they've deserved it. They've responded really well. And how big is that miss from Shafiq now? Indonesia have equalized. Wonderful move. Look at that, they're patient in possession. They pass it around, they wait for the right opportunity to arrive. Pick it up in midfield. He's onside. That's a wonderful run from Witan Sulaiman, looking right across that defensive line. He's aware of his position. He makes absolutely sure to keep himself onside. I mean, this pass and this leave from Rahmat. The first pass from Rahmat, that dummy from Ricardo Kambuaya. And then the finish in the end from Irfan Jaya. Look at how many players they had in those advanced positions.
It is amazing how the noise has shifted from one side of the stadium to the other. And now it's the red half who are loving it.
I think he was shouting at Asnawi.
It was Asnawi, wasn't he?
Yeah. Wanted him to rip the ball out of the hands of the Malaysian player and get on with it.
Here comes Pratama. Still Pratama. He's ridden the challenge. Pratama. He's still going, Pratama. Can they finish it? Yes, they can! It's number 2 for Irfan and Indonesia.
Wonderful work again. Wonderful work. 19 years of age, Pratama. Look at this driving run. Straight through the heart of that Malaysian defense. Yes, they get a little bit fortunate, a couple of deflections going their way. But they've been at it since conceding. The response has been incredible. You know, we've been talking about mentality a lot. Today we mentioned it with Singapore going a goal down to Thailand and then seemingly falling flat. We said, where was that mental response? We've seen from Indonesia here, go a goal down. And they've said, okay, let's go again. We pick ourselves up, dust us off, and we'll show you what kind of quality we've got.
In the build-up to that goal, he's now got his third. Rizal Ghazali was just, it couldn't stop Pratama, could he? He's had a bit of a torrid time on that side, hasn't he?
It's so difficult for defenders at times when you've got confident players picking the ball up and just driving at you. Move into a back 5. 3 central defenders with the number 12 Pratama Arhan playing as a left wing back. Asnawi is that right wing back. The 2 of Kambuaya and Rahmat Irianto just sitting in front of that back 3. And then Irfan Jaya, Witan Sulaiman and Ezra Walian, the 3 in those advanced positions.
So Malaysia have also made a change with Dominic Tan replacing Safawi. You saw him right at the end of the first half, clutching his shoulder. Looked a pretty bad injury for him. We hope he's okay, of course. But they've lost one of their star players, Malaysia, who's been enjoying himself in this tournament. It's been a good platform and sort of resurrect things. And he's replaced by Dominic Tan, who was born in Singapore, opted to play for the country of his parents' birth, as Malaysia gets a corner. So they've brought in a central defender each, Roshan, and Dominic Tan for Police Tero in Thailand.
We'll just see this shot from Ricky Kambuaya. Take a big deflection of Junior Elstal. So they just reshuffled it at the back.
Thailand, Vietnam.
Oof.
Don't think many people expected that one.
No, no. And again, I said this yesterday, you can't worry about what's going on in any of the other groups. You just got to take care of business yourself. You got to control what you see, where that takes you, just get on with it.
Just saw Irfan rouse up the Indonesian crowd as he went to the corner flag. They love that, don't they, when the players do that with them. So there's Alkan Bagat, 1.94 meters tall, mixed parentage, English and Indonesian. Plays for Ipswich under 23s. They flew him in for this. Had an issue with COVID, but all good now. Oh, what a shot that is! From distance! Two of the natural left backs. Dimas. Oh, got the fourth goal! And it's the big man, Alkan Bagat. Well, now surely the 3 points will go to Indonesia. Joyous scenes.
Sorry, what was interesting for me as the goal went in, yes, there were celebrations on the bench, but straight away you had one of the assistants. Well, let me talk about this goal first. Alkan Bagat, the delivery from Ivan Dimas, his quality right on his head. Khairul Fahmi, again, the decision making in that situation. Does he have to come out and punch? Can he stay on his line? Is Alkan Bagat being marked? He is. But he backs himself. He thinks he's going to come out and meet that Khairul Fahmi. Instead, Alkan Bagat's the one who gets his head on it with that height advantage. Back in the squad, back in the team. And I think Indonesia back on top here.
He was in quarantine for the last few days. This guy will be absolutely delighted he had his father here come down from London to come and watch him. He flew in late into the tournament and he's got a goal. But Rushan, sorry,
yeah,
you were making a point.
Let me go back to what happened on the bench, and as that went we're hearing some of the Indonesian fans. Well, the moment the goal went in, yes, there were celebrations from the staff on the bench, but straight away you had one of the assistants running over to Shin Tae-yong, and
final opportunity for Malaysia to get on the score sheet. Of course, it won't matter for them, but it could matter for Indonesia. As they look to get it clear, Alfiandra De Jonga. Witan Sulaiman. Tussling there with the ball with Quentin Cheng. Well done there to Kambuaya. Yabes Roni. Now the new man, Hannes. Oh, that's a delight. Oh, by Witan. And it's over. Hits the crossbar from Evan Dimas. But it's a fitting way to end what has been by far the most entertaining, enthralling game we've had at the AFF Suzuki Cup 2020.
Fantastic from Indonesia. Irfan Jaya celebrating there. Pratal on his knees, thumping the badge on his chest. What a wonderful performance from this young, exciting, talented Indonesian side. They've been so watch. That fight, that intensity, the desire that they play with, but the technical quality as well to back that all up. Really, really to see. First part of the job done, qualifying for the semi-finals of the competition. Bigger challenges lie ahead, but this is looking really promising for this side. And he's even allowed himself a bit of a smile there, Shin Tae-yong.
Well, he will be regarded very, very highly back home for what's been an excellent group stage performance from Indonesia. They have won 3 and drawn 1. One was against the overwhelming favourites in the competition, Vietnam, who they've relegated to second spot. Indonesia, very few would have thought they would even qualify for the semi-finals. They've done it in style. And as you can see that from the scoreline, it has been an emphatic victory. The final score here at the National Stadium,